It's interesting he's even having that debate, does he have to prove himself to the fans? And I guess those fans that walked out at the weekend, perhaps he does have to win their faith back. Yeah. Is he under any pressure, do you think, at the moment, in terms of losing his job? Is that unthinkable?
Well, in this day and age, I think it probably is, to be honest, which sounds crazy because he's the defending champions, and they're obviously having a bad run this season, and managers get sacked so quickly now, so yeah, he is. And I think for managers, you've probably got 3 or 4 games at any period. If you lose 4 on the bounce, you could get the sack. So he's definitely under pressure. Whether I think he should be is another thing, because I think he won the league. I'm not sure how he's going to deal with this situation, because there's many things to put right, but he's got to get to work. But I think probably the Liverpool fans are probably looking at him and saying, how are you going to fix this?
How much is confidence an issue for your players now?
I think till now it hasn't been an issue. If you look at the way we played most parts of the game, so I think I've said Saturday after the game that the first half hour was actually everything I was hoped it to be, except for us scoring a goal. It hasn't been every game this season that we were able to create that many in the first half hour against a team that's defending low. So that was for me positive. But yeah, the first time they arrive in our 18-yard box with a set piece, they score a goal, and then it took a while for us to recover from that. And on the first minute after halftime, we conceded again. And then again, I saw a team that was trying a lot. So I even showed them, I think yesterday or the day before, how many times we arrived in the box, how many crosses we gave. And I think there was 6-7 times the amount of times Forrest gave a cross. But they defended much better in their box than we defended in and around our box. So we have to help ourselves defensively a bit more. I'm not talking about the last line, I'm talking about the whole team. Because then maybe people will also see that on the ball we are not doing so many things differently than last season. But the amount of goals we concede is, of course, the big difference between this and last season.
How would you describe the situation, the way it's like at the moment?
How I would describe that as ridiculous almost. Something I didn't expect to be in. Not at any club I was ever going to work at, let alone if you play at Liverpool. If you not play, I wish I played. If you manage Liverpool. So that is unbelievable. I've said many times over here, you cannot find, if you even can find an excuse, you will never find enough excuses to make it that you perform like this. So that's unexpected for the club, for me, for everyone, and. But I'm also working at a club. If there's ever a club you need to face this, maybe this is the best club to face it, because the harder it gets at a club like this, the more we are together, the more we are trying to achieve the things that Liverpool usually achieves.
Do you feel you need to prove yourself to the fans once again in a situation like this?
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with a situation like this. I think every day you have to prove yourself if you are working at a club of this level. So you cannot say we won the league or we did this or this and now everything is okay. If you work at this level, the next game is always the one that's most important, and you have to prove yourself every single time. That's for me, that's for the players. That is also what we like about working in this environment, that you can never rest. You always have to keep going. If things go well, but definitely also if things don't go well. So yes, I don't know if I have to prove myself to the fans as well as I have to prove myself to myself and to the players and to everyone involved in the football club.
The season that Liverpool have had, what are the circumstances, do you think, by which the Liverpool board would have to act? Is it if they're out of the Champions League race? Is that the point where they would have to do something? Yeah,
I think so. I think if they start to fall too far away from Champions League, if they make Champions League, I think he gets a bit more time. Or if they're in and around it and it looks like they're going to, because of what he did last season, although we did inherit the Jurgen Klopp team, but as I said he made some adjustments to that team, which I think really helped. If they're in and around the Champions League spots, I think he'll be okay. If they start falling away from that, a club like Liverpool, with their fan base and what they're demanding, and the owners, I think that he goes, because it's just like any manager, it's like any profession. If you're not performing and you can't get a team together, eventually you lose your job.
I wanted to pick up on something that you said in the last hour, actually, when we were talking about Liverpool, and that was the basics. So what do we count as the basics? So that's kind of aggression and wanting to win the fight on the pitch. So we've got the lowest percentage here of duels won by Liverpool this season. Manchester City at 38.8% was the lowest, and then Nottingham Forest is 9, 10, 11, 12, so the 9th of 12 Liverpool games this season. That's the bottom 4. All of those games obviously ending in defeats for Liverpool. So the basics there, winning your duels, they're not doing, and they're losing games because of it. What's another basic? Get your set piece defending right, and they've been poor at that this season. It's 9 goals conceded now from set pieces, excluding penalties. That's level with Nottingham Forest and West Ham, who are obviously at the wrong end of the Premier League table. So when you think about what are the things that Liverpool need to tackle first and get right, it's getting that attitude right on the pitch, both winning the duels and also concentration around defending set pieces.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that when any team struggled, whenever I played and I was in a team that was struggling, it would just go back to getting a clean sheet. What have we got to do to get a clean sheet and get a point, if that's what it is? They don't get clean sheets, Liverpool, so they need to get back to defending better as a team, and then you can work from that base.
In every position at the moment, Liverpool are looking slightly wobbly, you'd have to say. They're not performing. Konaté's come under so much scrutiny. Virgil van Dijk's not having his best performances. They've got issues at the right back. Szoboszlai's being played out of position. Then that affects the midfield that arguably won it for them last season. Then you go forward. We've already spoken about that. So, I mean, there's the conundrum for you.
Yeah.
Where is it on that pitch?
I think it's one of two situations. One, weirdly, everybody's just having an off season.
Yeah.
Or there's a bigger problem, which could be something that we've overlooked and not speaking about, like the passing of Diogo Jota, that's still affecting the club, and rightfully so if that's the case. It could be something like they're not understanding the manager's tactics, low on confidence. What you would like to see, regardless of all of that, is the first stat that you put up. I'm not a massive stat guy, but winning duels is a given. You'd like to see Liverpool come out in the next game fired up, flying into tackles, getting the ball forward, moving it with purpose, and just looking like a team that really want to go on and win the game. I think every time I've seen Liverpool this season, they look a little bit slow to things and a little bit almost like as if, well, it's okay, I'll get there in a minute, and teams are figuring out, no you won't, because we'll go and score.
Konaté, since he's been at Liverpool, last season was probably the first season where, for the whole season, he was at a great level. The previous seasons, and the one we're seeing now, kind of always had a mistake in them. But for some reason, he's making so many this year. And of course, there's nobody to replace him. The young 18-year-old, whose name I can't remember, is going to be out with a knee injury.
Right.
Joe Gomez, I think, is fit now, but how long is that going to last? And Joe Gomez is a guy who can come in and play a game or two and then kind of reverts to what Konaté already is. So Liverpool just don't have any choices right now, and unfortunately they're going to have to carry on with Konaté and hope he gets better.
Well, the players have regressed.
Yes. Everyone has, haven't they?
But we had this discussion the other week. He has to figure it out. If we had listen, I'm not going to go, but if we have a pile-on Ruben Amorim, as we have, why would Arne Slot or anybody else escape?
Well, because Slot won the title. He won the title last season.
Yeah,
Amorim hasn't, has he?
No, I know that. I know that.
It does matter a bit, John. Surely it's a different argument to question Amorim and Arne Slot. Arne Slot's got money in the bank.
Yeah, he's not getting sacked, but he's still got to stop. He's still got to stop this slide.
No, he does, but we didn't pile on Amorim after 11 games, did we?
Yes.
Some things.
No, we
Dan, ask yourself the question: what would happen at Bayern Munich if they lost 6 and 7, or Real Madrid, or Barca?
Yeah, but it's a different conversation with Liverpool, isn't it?
It ain't. It ain't. They're champions. Liverpool are champions. They've lost 6 and 7.
Yeah, but Real
this should never ever happen to a top 3 team.
So you would sack Arne Slot?
No, I wouldn't sack him.
That's what you just said. You just said if he was at a bigger club, he'd get sacked.
Well, hold on. Was there not a pile-on in Pep Guardiola last year? They were champions.
Yeah,
Well, they were champions.
No, but I think it was the manner in which they completely fell off a cliff.
Well, that's just what difference is that to Liverpool?
No, but what I'm saying is...
City were champions, they fell off the cliff.
No, yeah, but you...
Liverpool were champions,
I think you made the mistake when you brought up Amorim.
No, I didn't make a mistake.
Because Amorim has done nothing at United. Slot has won the title there, hasn't he? So therefore, Slot has got money in the bank. Pep Guardiola's got a load of money in the bank.
By the way, what did he change last year? What did he change?
What Pep Guardiola changed?
No, he went in, Arne Slot went in, and he worked with the players that were already there.
Absolutely.
Right. Now he's been asked to make changes, and he's struggling.
Yeah, and that's the big question around that.
I'm not comparing Arne Slot and Ruben Amorim.
Well, you brought it up.
I'm saying if you pile on one manager and say it's all on him, you can't then go to Liverpool